This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life.
Hello, everybody. This is Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show, and I'm so happy that people are listening to my advice about eating healthy and what eating healthy is all about. And I got a tip today about the cost of food and how much food really costs. Because you always wonder when you go into a supermarket, you see food that it says per pound, how much something is per pound. And there's a local supermarket near me that I like because it actually tells you broken down how much something actually is. So if it says like a bottle of olive oil, let's say is $10.99, $10.99 for the bottle, it'll actually show you how much it comes out to per pound or per ounce in that case. And I think that's a really good meter to understand how expensive something truly is or what a great deal you're getting on something. Well, when I buy my food, I always decide that. That's how I look at my food when it comes to cost. And as I'm getting older, some people say I'm getting wiser, some people say I'm getting cheaper, whatever you want to say. I'm looking more at the cost of food than I ever have before. And I just want to see the type of deal I'm getting. And there are certain things I won't even buy anymore. So I'm going to throw up a couple of things here and show them to you and just give you an idea of how to decide if something is a decent deal or not. The first thing I got here is a banana. And I bought today a whole case of bananas. I mean, a big box full of bananas for like, I think, $6. And yes, they were ripe. They were just as ripe as this banana is here. Now, this banana is just about perfect in terms of the stage to eat it. That's how you want a banana to look. You don't want it to be too dark, but you don't want it to be just all yellow, and you definitely don't want it to be green. You want it to look like that. So, so the banana here is some people would say it's bruised or whatever, but if you open it up, I'm not going to open it up now because it's not about bananas, it's about the cost of food. But basically, the stores, they don't like it like this because this is about to go bad if you don't eat it. So what they do is they sell them green. And if they're like this, they try to get rid of them real quickly so the price comes down. So the average price I usually see bananas is anywhere between 79 cents to 99 cents a pound. So when you think, how much really is that a pound? So you weigh a banana and you see, so now this banana doesn't weigh a pound. Maybe this weighs a quarter pound, maybe. So 4 of these might weigh a pound. So if 4 of these were a pound, then I don't have a scale, I'm just guessing. So now you're paying $1. If 4 of these was a pound, now you're paying a quarter for 1 banana. See, so four bananas equal a pound. If it's 99 cents a pound, you break it down and you find out, okay, so you're paying a quarter per banana. Now, just to throw you off here, when you're in an airport and they know they got you and you want a banana, the bananas are like $1 for 1 banana or sometimes even more. But let's say a quarter for a banana. So now you break this down. So if this banana costs a quarter, so now what's a half of quarter? So what are you looking at? 12 cents or so, or 12 and a half cents. So now you break it down. So half of this banana is 12 and a half cents. So pretty much you go a little, so for 1 dime, this is what you're paying for 1 dime. If this was $1, if this was $1 a pound, you're eating this much banana for 1 dime. And a nickel, you're eating this much banana for a nickel. So all in all, that's quite expensive. To eat this much food for 10 cents is, I would say, quite expensive. Now, when these bananas are ripe like this and the store is trying to get rid of them, they go down to, I've gotten them low as 10 cents a pound. So now if you're looking at 10 cents a pound and you got 4 bananas, so now you're looking at 2.5%, 2.5 cents per banana, because half a banana would be, 1 banana, 4 bananas for 10 cents, so half's a nickel. So you're looking at 2.5 cents a banana. So now you got a good deal. So you cut that in half. So now for a penny, you're eating a whole half a banana. For 2 cents or 2.5 cents, you're eating a whole banana. So that's a pretty good deal. I've even gotten better deals than that. The box I weigh, I've got a 40-pound banana box for $5. So you break that down, that's a really good deal. But if you're like most people and you go to the store and you get bananas when they're 99 cents a pound and green and take them home and wait for them to get ripe, that's not really a good deal. That's quite expensive. And we hear, oh, bananas are cheap, 99 cents a pound. Well, when you think about that, 10 cents for that, I don't think that's cheap. It's not the most expensive thing, but it's not the cheapest thing either. So that's something to consider when you're buying food. And we're going to look at some other foods, just give you more of an example of what I'm talking about. So now I buy bananas sometimes even more riper than this. And what I do and what I did tonight when I got home with this bananas, I kept a couple on the side, but I freeze the rest. And I peel them first. You peel them and then you freeze them. I put them in some bags in the freezer, and then I use them in my smoothies, and they'll last there for a really long time. And I also love to make banana ice cream for my family. So that just gives you an idea of a banana. Now let's look at another food here, and I'm just giving you an idea how to know if you're getting a good deal when it comes to food. And of course, two things to remember that's very important. The first thing to remember is if you throw the food away and don't eat it, it's never a good deal. So if you've bought in too many and you didn't freeze them, or if they go bad, or if you just didn't eat them, or if you just take a bite and you don't like it, you throw it away, it is never a good deal if that happens. So that's something to consider. So you never want to throw your food away, even if you get deals on any food, any type of food. So that's one of the things to consider. I'll get to the other thing in a moment here, but so don't throw your food away if you want a good deal. Okay. Now another thing you could do is I'm not a coupon shopper, but if you get the supermarket things, it tells you when things are on sale in the newspaper. I usually go to a Spanish market and I find things on sale, especially things like this. Most big groceries will throw bananas away when they look like this. They won't even leave them on the shelf. They'll throw them away. So, but most smaller stores, especially Spanish markets, I find, and they'll put them on sale for, like I said, down to 10 cents a pound, like this. Sometimes they put them all in a bag, and they might tell you the whole bag for $1, which comes out even less than 10 cents a pound. So that's a pretty good deal. Now, the other thing I was going to say is if you really want a great deal, free is always the best deal. And how do you get free bananas without growing them? Well, as I said, when bananas are looking perfect like this, they throw them away. In some supermarkets, just simply lay them in the back of the store, and you could fight the homeless people for the good bananas, but they're free. So free is the best deal, and throwing them away is never a good deal. So let's look at this food, a lemon here. This actually is a lemon right off my tree. You see, it's not a perfect looking lemon, but it is a perfect lemon. I don't know how it's going to look on a green screen. Let me hold it here. It might not look great on a green screen, but trust me, folks, it's a lemon, okay? And anyway, it's a Meyer lemon, too. It's a sweet lemon. But basically, you go to the store today, and sometimes, I mean, on average, I might see a lemon for $2 for $1. And you think, okay, it's just $1 and I'm getting 2 lemons. So that's 50 cents for 1 lemon. So 50 cents for this. So half of this is a quarter. Folks, to me, that much food for a quarter, half of this, and I don't know how it's looking on the green, but half of this for a quarter, that's expensive. I mean, I've seen limes that much as well, but I've also seen lemons for 5 for $1 or 10 for $1. Then it's a better deal. But so something might sound cheap. Oh, 2 for $1. But it's quite expensive. Next thing we're going to look at is apples. And I'm getting all this green stuff here on the green screen. But we're going to look at apples. Apples. And I'm talking about some of this food's organic. It's even more. But apples here are quite expensive these days. At least organic apples are. Unorganic apples are usually, at least where I live and where I see, is usually about 99 cents a pound for unorganic. And I don't buy unorganic apples, but unorganic apples are usually 99 cents a pound. Organic apples are usually $1.99 to $2.99 a pound. So you think about that. I don't know how much this apple weighs. I would say this weighs maybe a half a pound. Maybe, yeah, I would say a half a pound. Maybe a little bit less. So maybe 3 apples equal a pound. Okay, so if you think 3 apples are equal to a pound, and it's $2.99 for a pound for a pound of apples, so now you're paying $2.99 for 3 apples. So now you're paying $1 for an apple. You might think, oh, it's just $1. That's not that much food for $1. Actually, if it's organic, it's not the worst deal. But when you consider unorganic is $1 a pound, and you consider you can get this much cheaper, it's just an idea. What I like to do with the apples is I buy a bag of apples, and it usually comes out to a better deal. But still, when you look at it per pound, then you know what you're getting. But on average, an organic apple is going to cost you $1. Would you pay $1 for an apple even if it's organic? That's a lot of money to me for just an apple. Now, if it was something, maybe a good type of apple that I loved versus another one, or if I was really hungry, yes, I would. I mean, an apple's a great snack. You got to think if you're making something like a raw apple pie and you're using 5 to 10 apples, that's $10 for the apples alone, other than the other ingredients. Now you're getting into a good amount of money. Now, here's something I don't know if I can continue to buy anymore. Uh, in the supermarket, at least, I can get this in in the farmers markets, but not the supermarket. This is just too expensive. Probably one of the most expensive foods you'll find. Now I'm going to hold it up here, but on the green screen, it's not going to look too good. So trust me, what it is. This is a cucumber, okay, and it's a cucumber. Now on the green screen again, it might not look good, so I don't want to disturb you guys, so I'll take that out. But a cucumber, I find, is sometimes $2 to $3 a pound. One cucumber is a pound. Would you pay $3 for this? $1.50? $1? Would you pay $1 for that much food? I've gotten organic cucumbers for $1 a pound at local farmers markets. I would not pay $1 for a piece of a cucumber. Something I will pay a lot of money for, that I do, and I shouldn't, but I do, is almond butter. And more green. Whoa. So much of the green screen. I'll hold it this way. Almond butter. Almond butter. Everything's green today. Okay, there's almond butter. This is a jar of almond butter. And this jar of almond butter, I didn't price it per pound, but it's expensive. Sometimes $15, $10. Let's say $10. So now you're looking at half of this. And I'm trying to get off the green screen, but anyway. So now you're looking at half of this for $5. So now you're looking at a quarter of it for $2.50. Now you're looking at even less for $1. One of the most expensive foods you would find is nut butter. So something to just consider when you're buying food. Next thing, and there are foods that are cheaper than others. Of course, it's green again for the green screen. Pineapple. Pineapple here. A good deal on a pineapple. Now, organic pineapple, $4 or $5.99. No way. No way. For the whole pineapple, $6. Half a pineapple, $3. Now for a couple of pieces of pineapple, you're paying $1.50. And I'm not going to hold it up to the green screen. But by the way, don't ever buy the cut up pineapples or the cut up melons at like Whole Paycheck or somewhere else. That's it. And you can look at how much per pound it is. It is crazy expensive. But as for this pineapple, unorganic, I've seen them on average $2.99 a pound. I mean, $2.99 a whole pineapple, not a pound. $2.99, and that's borderline. Now you're looking at $1.99 in a lot of places. That's a good deal. $2 for this whole pineapple, half of it, pretty good deal. So it's just, those are such things to consider. I didn't know I had so much green food today with the green screen. But those are some things to consider when you're buying food and you're trying to figure out if it's a good deal or not. Now, there are the exceptions. This is a persimmon. One of my favorite fruits. And there's green again. One of my favorite fruits, a persimmon. If you guys never had a persimmon, you guys don't understand why I love a raw food diet. So anyway, this whole fruit normally is about $1 just for this. And again, that's not a lot of food for $1. When you consider, now it could be, I mean, that's a lot, that's a big piece of fruit. But when you consider like something like rice, how much rice you can get for $1, or how much bananas you can get for $1, and so on, that's quite expensive. However, this is one of my favorite fruits, and I will pay $1 for this if it's I have been, and I will pay $1 for this. Now these are great because I found a local store that this store in particular was called Joseph Storehouse. But there are a lot of stores out there that get food in. It's not kind of like a food bank thing. You know, big stores like Trader Joe's or Whole Paycheck or somewhere, they don't want to show nice bananas like this. They don't want to sell them, so they'll give them to a local food bank or or like it's kind of a Salvation Army deal or something like that. And that place will sell it much cheaper, sometimes 40 cents or 20 cents a pound, even on organic food sometimes. And that's where I got this. For these, I got two for $1. And I wish they had more, but they didn't. Uh, so, uh, so this is just a great example. I spent a lot of money on things called durian, which is an exotic fruit. Most exotic fruits are expensive. Folks, if you want to be successful at eating healthy, it's wise to stay away from gourmet fancy supermarkets and try to go to local small markets. We call them bodegas in New York, or Spanish markets, or Oriental markets, or places like this, Oriental groceries. Usually, you'll get a better deal. Organic food, it's tough. It's better to go to a farmer's market. Of course, growing yourself is best. And if you find the right store, go behind the store. But keep these things in mind. And I wanted to make this video tonight because I was at a whole paycheck, getting a couple of things. And when I was online, the fellow in front of me spent $140. And I actually spent $70 on 2 bags of groceries. So $35 a bag grocery. That's why we call it whole paycheck. It's quite a good amount of money. But I got what I needed, and I didn't just get food. I got some coconut oil. I got a big bottle of coconut oil. So that rate, that's when you look at that too. Not just food. When you look at things per pound, it gets up there. So I got coconut oil, and what else did I get that was so expensive? I got 1 or 2 items that were really expensive, and the rest wasn't. So even though I spent $70 on 2 bags of food, uh, I could say I could easily take maybe those 2 items were $40, $20 each. So now you're looking at what, $35, or something like $45 for 2 bags, $20 a bag of groceries. For Whole Foods, that's not bad. That's still a lot of money for most places. But I can go to a Spanish market and get great deals. Like I said, I bought a case of bananas for $6 or $7. And I do that. I like to go to those smaller markets and do that. A lot of drinks are what you need to be careful when you buy drinks. So a lot of time with drinks, the drink will cost like $5.99 for like watermelon juice or lemonade, fresh lemonade, or even orange juice. Orange juice is expensive, so like $5.99 for a jar of orange juice. Now you're looking at half of that jar is $2.99. So now you're paying $3 for this much orange juice, and then now $1.50 for this much orange juice. So now 75 cents for like 4 ounces of orange juice. That's a lot of money, folks. It's a lot of money. What I like to do with things like that, if I am going to buy them, is I never drink straight up fruit juice or I don't like to because it's too much sugar. I dilute it immediately. At least 50-50, sometimes mostly water and a little bit of orange juice. So now if I'm buying that jar of orange juice, I'm getting a lot more out of it. It's healthier, and it's also, it fixes out the cost ratio. So no, it's not about being cheap. It's about being wise, spending your money wisely, and not just spending your money anywhere. And remember, if you buy something and it's not good, I have this apple here, there's a spot here, and that's fine. I'll eat around it. But if it's really, really spotted and this apple costs $1 and I just throw it away and eat another one, I've just threw money away. And it sounds just like $1, but when you think about how much you eat each week, and you think about how much food you throw away, and you see how much food people throw away, you might want to save that food. And when you go back to the supermarket, say, well, this is how much food I bought here this week that wasn't good. I want a gift card or something to the store to get my money back. And you could buy some good food like that. Here's another thing. I just bought dates. I bought dates, Medjool dates from the Date People. I bought a 15-pound box of dates. 15-pound box. I think it was $80, I think. So you break that down and you get the amount. But dates are really expensive in the store. And they're not as good quality as the one you get from the Date People. In the store, they're at least, $8 or $9 a pound. And that's the average grocery. That's not even whole paycheck, which is probably more. So if you're looking at $9 a pound for dates, so 9 times, 10 pounds, you're looking at like $100 right there alone. So I'm getting 5 extra pounds of dates. and I'll put them in the refrigerator and use them as needed. They don't go bad as quickly as other things. That's another thing to consider. The stage you're buying something, how much longer it's going to last when you buy it. So if you're going to buy things in bulk and they're going to go bad, you just waste a lot of money. So other foods like apples take a lot longer to go bad than things like bananas or cucumbers or things like that. So consider that. All right, everybody. And, so I just wanted to make this video so you get a clear idea. I have fun when I go to the supermarket figuring this out. But as I say now, I put less and less in my basket. And I just look for the wise deals or good bargains. And sometimes they're exciting when you find them. Sometimes they're not easy to find. But you can find them. If you look, you'll find them. And one of the greatest things you can do to save money when you're eating a healthy diet, and one of the best things you do for your health, is to fast 1 day a week or 1 day a week. Don't eat anything. And if you do that and you think about how much money you're spending on food per cost per day, now you're thinking how much money you're saving. Because let's say you spend, $10 a day on food or $20. Okay, the average person that eats healthy might spend $15 to $20 a day on food, maybe even more. Now, if you're not eating, let's say it's $20 a day on food you're spending, and you're not eating 1 day a week, 4 weeks, so 20, 40, 60, 80. You've just saved $80 alone in your food budget. And so that's just by fasting 1 day a week. Fast 2 days a week, there's $160. Now, I know some people that spend $160 on a whole month on just food, but usually it's not organic. And you got to make your decision what you do, where you spend it. Like I said, I will splurge on certain things that I absolutely really can't find often and I love. Some things I can't. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say earlier is throwing food away is you're never saving money. But the best way for your food is to grow it. If you grow your food and you think about it, well, still it's better to get it for free without having to grow it because it costs money to grow it. And it depends if you're starting from the seed or if you're growing it from a plant. Because if you got to go to Home Depot and buy a plant for like $5 and you're growing that, depends how much you get out of that plant to determine if that was a good deal or not. Sometimes that's not always a good deal from a money sense. It's always a good deal when you're growing it yourself, better than where somebody else grew it. But from a money sense, it's not the best deal if you spend $5 on that plant and it goes bad or you've just gotten a couple of leaves off of it. But if that plant is going for a long time, that's an excellent deal. But if you're growing it from a seed and the seed was really inexpensive, or even from another food, there you go. That's a great deal. So sometimes I'll take papaya seeds, throw them on the ground, and I got 20 or 30 papayas. So I hope these tips helped everybody today that you're watching. If you have any comments or questions, put them below the video. Thanks for checking us out. I got a whole bunch of other videos on rawlifehealthshow.com. If you are watching us on rawlifehealthshow.com, thank you for being a member. And if not, get there because I have Q&A and I have a whole bunch of recipes and a whole bunch of other videos. rawlifehealthshow.com. Videos for members, exclusive only, longer videos, and so on. All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.